What's up guys, in this guide I'll be showing you the best keys in Escape from Tarkov for every single map in the game. I'm not going to be talking about keys that are used purely for tasks like the machinery key, but if a key can help you with a task and it can also make you a lot of money, I will be mentioning that in the video. I really hope this guide helps you guys out, and if it does, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel if you want to see more content like this. Thank you. So we're going to be starting off on factory, and the only key I would recommend using on this map is the factory key. Yeah, I bet you guys could have seen that one coming. This key is absolutely essential for this map, and it's used for the mechanic task scout, and it allows you to use every single extract on the map. So definitely bring this key in if you guys have one, or if you can afford one, pick one up. It's really useful. And even though this key can't really make you a lot of money directly, it will lead to you surviving in factory a lot more often, and that's why I'm mentioning it. You know, if you guys can get out of the raid and survive, that is ultimately going to lead to you making money. Plus, I am listing keys for every single map, so I kind of have to mention this one. But if you guys know about any other keys and I don't mention it in the video, feel free to leave a comment. So next we're going to be on customs, and there's actually a few keys we're going to be using on this map. Most of them are at the dorms. The very first key we're going to be using is the marked key, and honestly this key is actually obtainable this wipe. It's only 2 million rubles, which definitely is a lot of money, but you actually need this one for a task as well, and you can find things like a docs case, a key tool, or a key card holder, and you can find high-end weapons and ammunition and things like that. So definitely pick this key up if you guys got a lot of extra money. Next, we're going to be heading down to the second floor of the 3-story dorms, and we're going to be using the 204 key. This key actually has, it leads into a room with a safe, and if you guys are here, you might as well just loot this safe real quick. And then after you get done with that, you can actually run straight to the other side of the building and loot 214, which also has another safe. You guys can find lots of high-end items inside safes, like flash drives for your task. You can find bitcoins, GP coins, cats lines, and horses and things like that. So definitely check these two rooms out if you're in the area. So next we're going to be heading over to the 2-story dorms, and there's only 2 keys over here that I would recommend using. The first one is going to be the 110 key, and this room just has one safe in it. And then we're going to be using the 114 key, which is actually for a therapist task. You're going to have to grab a case that's on top of the safe in this room. There's also a computer and a med case if you guys want to check those as well. Definitely pick these keys up, guys. You will make your money back. And then finally, we're going to be using the military checkpoint key. I know a lot of people probably don't think this key is worth it, but since they made a lot of ammo changes, you guys can actually find high-end ammo in here, because there are 2 little ammo crates in here, as well as a grenade box, so you can find RGOs and RGNs and things like that. So this key is relatively cheap. It's usually not looted, and you guys can find some really good stuff in here. So if you're in the area, definitely check this place out. So next we're going to be on reserve, and there's actually quite a few keys in this map that I would recommend picking up to make money. The first key we're going to be checking out is the RB-BK marked room key. It's going to be located in the Black Pawn building right next to the helicopter, and you guys can find lots of good things in this room. It is a marked room, so definitely expect some decent stuff. Maybe not every time you come in here, but you will make your money back eventually if you can make it out of the raid. Next, we're going to be heading into Black Bishop. This building is located directly in front of the helicopter, and the first room we're going to be checking out is the RB-AM key. This room has 3 toolboxes in it, some loose technical spawns, a jacket. You can find a folder of intelligence in here, and loose weapon attachments and things like that. Definitely check out this room, guys, and I don't think this key costs that much. And then right after we're done in here, we're going to head straight up to the second floor, and we're going to use the RB-AK key. This key isn't necessary, but it is incredibly cheap. It's like 20,000 rubles or something like that, but you guys can just head straight up to the 3rd floor and jump down. This is a little bit more risky, and people might be looking for you to jump down here to get their shooter-born kills. So I do recommend picking up the key, but you guys can find like technical loot in here, GPUs, gas analyzers for your task, and all kinds of things. There are some duffel bags and PCs in here as well. So next we're going to be heading underground, and there's 4 keys you guys can actually use down here. Just be careful, you might run into Gluhar or maybe a PMC that's also down here. It is kind of dark, and people are kind of just camping in one spot right now because of how bad the audio is. But you guys are going to be using the PS P1, P2, the PSV1 and V2 keys. I bought every single one of these keys. Hopefully you guys can get them all as well. And you can find medical crates, ration crates, and technical crates down here. So if you bring a big backpack, you'll have no problem filling it up down here. And then after this area, you'll pretty much just have to extract because there is just so much loot in these crates. So definitely check out these keys if you guys can, have the money for them. So next we're going to be checking out the other marked room on this map. There is a third marked room located down underground in the middle of the map, but I wouldn't recommend going there. The loot is actually really bad in that room from what I've experienced. But we're going to be using the RB-VO marked key, and just like every other marked room, you guys can find really high-end stuff in here, containers and things like that. So definitely check this key out if you guys got the money for it. Next, we're going to be using the RB-ST key, and you actually need this one for a task, so pick it up as soon as you can. But it's not just useful for that. You guys can find tank batteries in here, tank shells, you can find grenades and weapon attachments, and there's lots of weapon crates, so you can find, maybe some high-end weapons, maybe a mutant or a scar or something hopefully really good. But I definitely would check this key out, guys, and you're going to need it anyway, so you might as well grab it. And lastly, we're going to be checking out the RB-KPRL key. There's actually 2 safes in here along with a folder of intelligence spawn. And if you guys spawn right next to this room, you might as well just loot it real quick. A lot of the stuff you find in safes you can put inside of a secure container or in a docs case. So this is pretty much just free money every raid, and you are pretty much guaranteed to make your money back if you play reserve quite a lot. So definitely pick up this key, guys. Next, we're going to be on Shoreline, and there's actually a lot of keys that you guys can use to make money at the resort, but I tried to narrow it down as much as I could. And the first key we're going to be using is the East Wing 226 key, or you could use the 222 key. You guys can find a LEDX in here, which can make you like 1,000,000 rubles, or you can find safe items and things like that on the floor, other medical items as well, and then there's a grenade box and a weapon crate, and then you can also find things like a GPU or a Tetris or other technical loot. This room is fantastic, and it's actually really affordable, so there's really no reason not to get this key. Next, we're going to go straight over to the West Wing. We're going to head up to the 3rd floor, and then we're going to be using the West Wing 301 key. This room is honestly awesome. You can find another LEDX in here if you're lucky. You can find medical items on the bed, on the floor, and you can find safe items and things like that also on the desk and on the floor if you're lucky. Definitely check out this key if you guys are in the area. It is on the expensive side, but you guys will make your money back, especially if you find a LEDX or something like that. So next we're going to be using the West Wing 216 key, and you guys are going to need this key for a task, but that's not the only use. You guys can find GPUs on that box, and then there's high-end ammo spawns right there. There's 2 grenade boxes, and then there's also stims and other medication in that room as well. So check out that room if you guys can find that key or buy it. Definitely pick it up. So next I'm going to be on Woods, and there's actually one key that you guys can use to try to make money on this map. As far as I know, it's the Shturman stash key. And honestly, right now this key costs 500,000 rubles, so I would not recommend buying it off the flea market until it actually drops down in price, and I'm not sure if it will. But if you guys have this key, you might as well use it. You can find pretty much anything in this stash, and it's more of a gamble, so it's actually more fun to use this key than it is anything else. Don't expect to make a lot of money, but if you do, you know, win-win. Just like with every other key in the game, sometimes you just might not find anything, and other times it might be just, you know, packed full of loot. So keep that in mind. But like I said, I would not recommend buying this key off the flea market until it drops down in price. Next, we're going to be on Interchange, and there's only one key I would recommend even trying to use on this map to make money, and that's going to be the Ultra Medical Storage Key. But first, you're going to have to jump through some hoops in order to actually use it. So you're going to have to make your way all the way to the power station, which is located by the car extract. And then once you turn on the power, you can actually make your way to this little room that's in the middle of the mall, sort of, and turn off all of the alarms. And then that'll kind of like make it a little bit easier to hear people when you approach the actual the room. But once you turn off the alarms, then you can make your way straight to the Ultra Medical room. And honestly guys, unless you find this key, I wouldn't actually buy it. It's generally not really worth using unless you run Interchange a lot. And if you like this map, definitely pick it up. But you can find like a LEDX in there, defibrillators, medical loot. But honestly, in my experience, even in online mode, I haven't really found, you know, anything really noteworthy in there. At least not yet. Obviously, there's going to be people who do kind of get lucky and find really good stuff in there. Maybe even multiple LEDXs or something like that. But it all comes down to RNG. But yeah, the Ultra Medical Storage Key is pretty much the only key I would recommend. Next, I'm going to be on Lighthouse, and there's only two keys I'm going to be showing you in this map, and that's going to be the Merin car trunk key and the Hillside house key. Right here, I use the Merin key, and honestly, I don't find anything. I am in offline mode, so I really didn't expect much at all, but you guys will usually find safe items and things like that, maybe even military tech, so definitely check out that key if you guys get the chance. Next, I'm going to be using the Hillside house key, and I'm only recommending this because this key is actually really cheap, and you can actually find really high-end items in here, like safe items and other barter items and things like that. Pretty much a no-brainer, especially if you spawn over here. You might as well just loot this house. Next, I'm going to be on Streets of Tarkov, and honestly guys, I don't have a lot of keys for this map, and I haven't had a whole lot of experience with most of the keys on this map, so I can only really recommend one key, and that's going to be the Concordia Apartment 64 key, as well as the Concordia Apartment 64 office key. Now, even though I'm in offline mode here, I still find a GP coin, a Veritas guitar pick, and a Bitcoin, as well as an RFID reader in this room, and that's offline mode. So if you guys can get your hands on this key, I would highly recommend you prioritize this room, especially if you're trying to make money. You know, all this stuff you can fit right in your secure container. So I do apologize that I can't recommend more keys on this map. If you guys know about any other great keys, feel free to share, you know, leave a comment or something like that. I really appreciate it. But that's pretty much going to be the whole video, guys. I really hope this guide helped you guys out, and if it did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel if you want to keep seeing content like this. Thank you.